The 1984 one-penny coin from the United Kingdom featuring Queen Elizabeth II holds significant numismatic, historical, and design interest for collectors and historians alike. This coin represents not only a unit of British currency, but also reflects the political, economic, and royal heritage of the United Kingdom during the later 20th century. The obverse of the coin bears the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, accompanied by the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II, DG Reg. FD 1984. This abbreviated legend translates to Elizabeth II. By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, a traditional royal title used on British coinage for centuries, the portrait depicted on this 1984 penny is the second definitive effigy of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Macqueen, a renowned British sculptor. This portrait was introduced in 1968 and remained in use on decimal coinage until 1984, making the 1984 penny the final year this specific effigy appeared on the one-penny coin, adding extra interest for collectors. In terms of composition, the 1984 one-penny was minted in bronze, an alloy traditionally used for British lower-denomination coins. The specific alloy composition is 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, giving the coin its characteristic reddish-brown appearance, though over time, circulation wear, oxidation, or cleaning can alter its coloration. Interestingly, while earlier years of the penny saw higher mintages due to the initial demand for decimal coins following the UK's transition to decimal currency in 1971. By 1984, the Royal Mint had stabilized production, though millions of these coins were still struck, making them common in everyday circulation, but gradually more collectible and high-grade. Uncirculated or proof condition. The reverse design, created by Christopher Ironside, displays a crowned portcullis with chains, an emblem often associated with the Palace of Westminster, symbolizing Britain's parliamentary democracy and governance. The portcullis motif is steeped in British heraldic history, originally used as a defensive symbol in castles and palaces. Its inclusion on the penny reflects themes of national unity, protection, and Britain's constitutional traditions. Below the portcullis appears the inscription, 1 penny, denoting the coin's face value, while the denomination value 1 is prominently placed beneath the central design in historical context. The year 1984 was significant for the United Kingdom, both politically and socially. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, Britain was undergoing considerable economic reform, industrial disputes, and social unrest. Most notably, the miners' strike that began in 1984. Against this backdrop, the production of everyday coinage like the 1 penny continued steadily, reflecting the resilience and continuity of national institutions amidst political turbulence. Furthermore, Queen Elizabeth II, who had already served over 3 decades as monarch by 1984, remained a symbol of stability and tradition, qualities often mirrored in the enduring designs of British coinage. From a numismatic perspective, while circulated in 1984, 1 penny coins are common and readily available. Examples in mint state, brilliant uncirculated, or proof sets carry additional value to collectors, especially given that 1984 marked the final year for the Macqueen portrait on Mint's portrait, the 1 penny. From 1985 onwards, a new portrait by Raphael Makloff replaced Machine's effigy, making the 1984 issue the conclusion of an important era in British numismatic design. The coin has a diameter of 20.3 millimeters, a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, and a weight of 3.56 grams. Consistent with standard specifications for bronze 1 penny coins issued from 1971 to 1991. Notably, after 1992, the composition changed to copper-plated steel, making the earlier bronze coins like the 1984 penny increasingly distinct and of growing interest to collectors of British pre-steel coinage. In terms of circulation, the 1984 penny saw widespread use throughout the UK, serving in everyday transactions, though its purchasing power was relatively modest, reflecting the broader economic conditions of the time, including inflation and shifting consumer prices. Over time, many of these coins were removed from circulation due to wear or loss, enhancing the relative scarcity of high-quality examples. In conclusion, The 1984 one penny Elizabeth II coin embodies an intriguing blend of artistic design, historical significance, royal portraiture, and economic symbolism. For collectors, historians, or those interested in British heritage, this small denomination serves as a tangible link to the final chapter of the Machin Portrait series. Period marked by political change, social challenges, and the enduring presence of the monarchy. Despite its low monetary face value, the 1984 penny carries considerable cultural and numismatic interest, especially in pristine condition or as part of comprehensive. Next top, the 1987 United Kingdom 1 penny coin, featuring Queen Elizabeth II, represents a significant part of the British decimal coinage system, which itself was a result of the United Kingdom's transition from the old pounds, shillings, and pence monetary system to a decimal-based currency that was officially introduced on the 15th of February 1971, a date now known as Decimal Day. The 1p coin minted in 1987 belongs to this modern decimal series and carries with it both historical relevance and cultural symbolism embedded within its design. Metal composition and the inscriptions featured upon it. The obverse side of the 1987 1 penny displays the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the sculptor Raphael David Makhlouf. This particular effigy, known as the third definitive portrait of Her Majesty, was first introduced in 1985 and continued to be used on British coinage until Makhlouf's portrayal of the Queen is often praised for its regal elegance and dignified presentation, showing the monarch wearing the George IV state diadem, crown historically worn by queens at state openings of Parliament. Around the portrait, the Latin inscription Elizabeth 2d G Reg FD 1987 appears. This stands for Elizabeth II de Gratia Regina Fidei, Defensor, translating to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, reflecting the British monarch's dual role as both sovereign of the United Kingdom and the supreme governor of the Church of England, a tradition dating back to the reign of Henry VIII, when the English Reformation established the monarch as head of the church separate from papal authority. The year 1987 marks the date of minting, a year within an era of relative political stability in Britain under the leadership of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, and during a period when the Royal Mint continued its production of everyday circulating coinage to meet the needs of a modern economy. The reverse side of the coin features a design by Christopher Ironside, one of Britain's most esteemed numismatic designers, was responsible for creating the original reverse designs for the decimal coinage introduced in 1971 for the 1 penny. Ironside chose the depiction of a crowned portcullis with chains, a symbol that historically originated as a badge of Henry VII and has since been adopted by various British institutions, most notably the Palace of Westminster, the seat of the British Parliament. The portcullis design encapsulates Britain's emphasis on parliamentary democracy and governance, serving as a subtle yet powerful emblem of the nation's legislative heritage. Surrounding the portcullis is the inscription 1 penny, clearly indicating the denomination, with the numeral 1 placed below the portcullis. The precise dimensions of the 1987 1 penny coin are as follows. It has a diameter of 20.32 millimeters, a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, and weighs exactly 3.56 grams. The coin was composed of bronze, which was the standard alloy for 1 penny coins at the time, consisting of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. This composition gives the coin its distinctive reddish-brown appearance. Although over time, circulation can cause varying degrees of darkening, patina, or spotting due to environmental exposure. The production of the 1987 1 penny occurred at the Royal Mint's facility, located in Landressant, South Wales, which became the primary site for British coin production after the 1960s. To meet the demands of both domestic circulation and international contracts, during this period, the Royal Mint was not only producing coinage for the United Kingdom, but also for numerous other nations. Highlighting Britain's historical expertise in minting that dates back centuries, billions of 1 penny coins were produced overall, Specific mintage figures for each year can vary. In 1987, the 1 penny was minted in substantial quantities to ensure availability in everyday transactions across Britain. Despite its low face value, the 1 penny coin plays a crucial role in completing small transactions and maintaining exact pricing structures, especially in retail environments and automated vending machines. Numismatically, the 1987 1 penny coin is considered a common circulating coin, meaning it does not carry significant collector value in ordinary circulated condition. But pristine, uncirculated, or proof versions can attract numismatic interest, especially among collectors who specialize in complete date sets or those fascinated by British decimal coinage. Proof versions were often included in collector sets issued by the Royal Mint, where coins were struck with special care, polished dies, and blank planchets to produce a mirror-like finish. While general circulation coins often display signs of wear, scratches, or dulling due to handling, proof and uncirculated specimens maintain sharp detail and lustrous surfaces, making them particularly desirable among enthusiasts. The year 1987 itself holds historical significance for Britain beyond coinage, as it was marked by social, economic, and political events that shaped the contemporary British landscape. Margaret Thatcher was serving her third term as Prime Minister, promoting economic liberalization policies that continued to redefine Britain's industrial and financial sectors. Internationally, the Cold War was ongoing, yet signs of its eventual conclusion were emerging through diplomatic efforts between world powers. Domestically, 1987 also witnessed the Great Storm, one of the most devastating weather events to hit southern England in modern times, causing widespread damage and impacting the daily lives of British citizens. Thus, coins minted in that year quietly circulated through pockets, purses, and tills, becoming silent witnesses to both everyday transactions and the broader socio-political climate. Culturally, coins, such as the 1987 1 penny form, part of the tangible heritage of Britain, representing not only economic instruments, but also miniature canvases that convey national symbols, history, and identity. The portcullis emblem on the reverse speaks to Britain's architectural and political legacy, while Queen Elizabeth II's portrait reflects continuity, stability, and the evolving reign of Britain's longest-serving monarch of the time. Over the decades, millions of these coins have changed hands countless times, from buying newspapers, sweets, bus fares, or charitable donations, embedding themselves into the fabric of daily British life. Even as newer coin designs emerge and older coins gradually retire from circulation, the 1987 1 penny remains a testament to the enduring significance of small denomination coinage. Within the larger economic and historical narrative of the United Kingdom, many such coins, despite their modest face value, find their way into coin collections, educational displays, or personal keepsakes, serving as nostalgic reminders of specific moments in time. In conclusion, the 1987 1 penny coin embodies far more than mere monetary worth. It represents a blend of national identity, royal symbolism, historical continuity, and artistic craftsmanship. As part of the decimal coinage system introduced to modernize British currency, and bearing the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II in her youthful yet regal portrayal by Raphael Makhlouf, it serves as a lasting artifact of Britain's economic, political, and cultural landscape of the late 20th century. Whether preserved in a collector's album, discovered among pocket change, or passed down through generations, the 1987 1 penny remains an enduring and quietly significant piece of British numismatic history. The 1991 penny coin of the United Kingdom, bearing the inscription 1 penny Elizabeth II, D.G.Reg, FD 1990, represents an enduring example of British numismatic history during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-reigning British monarch at the time. This coin belongs to the decimal series of British currency introduced in 1971 to replace the traditional pounds, shillings, and pence system, making currency calculations easier and aligned with modern decimal standards. The 1991 penny was minted by the Royal Mint, the official producer of UK coinage, continuing the standardized design elements established in previous decades, but carrying its own distinctive historical significance based on its production. Year. The obverse side of the coin features the well-known portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael McLoth, which was used on British coinage from 1985 to 1997. This specific effigy portrays Her Majesty wearing the George IV state diadem, symbol of royal authority, often worn by queens during the state opening of Parliament. The Queen's portrait is encircled by the Latin inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, an abbreviation of Elizabeth II Dei Gratia, Regina Fidei Defensatrix, which translates to Elizabeth II. By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, reflecting both the monarch's constitutional role and her title as the Supreme Governor of the Church of England. The year of minting, 1990, is inscribed beneath the portrait, indicating the coin's production date. The reverse side of the coin carries the denomination clearly marked with the words 1 penny, along with a detailed depiction of a crowned portcullis with chains, an ancient symbol historically associated with the Palace of Westminster. Commonly recognized as a British emblem of parliamentary democracy and governance, this design was created by Christopher Ironside, a prominent British artist and coin designer known for his role in shaping the visual identity of decimal British coinage. The portcullis design evokes the architecture of historic London and represents strength, security, and institutional integrity. The 1991 penny coin is part of the standard UK currency series and has a face value of 1/100th, a pound sterling 1 penny. The coin is composed of bronze, an alloy consisting of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, giving it a distinct reddish-brown metallic sheen when freshly minted, though circulation over time often dulls the color, resulting in a darker patina. The coin has a diameter of 20.3 millimeters, a weight of 3.56 grams, and a thickness of approximately 1.52 millimeters, with a plain edge, making it easily distinguishable among other coin denominations by both feel and appearance. The year 1990 holds additional significance in British history, being a period marked by social, economic, and political changes. Margaret Thatcher, the United Kingdom's first female prime minister, resigned in November 1990, ending over a decade of leadership, and John Major succeeded her. During this period, Britain was navigating complex global and domestic challenges, including economic recession concerns, European relations, and evolving debates on constitutional matters, all of which formed the broader backdrop to the everyday usage of coins like the 1991 penny. Although the 1991 penny remains legal tender today and is frequently encountered in circulation within the UK, its value to collectors primarily depends on its condition. Coins in circulated condition hold minimal numismatic premium. It's typically worth only their face value unless preserved in exceptional condition. However, uncirculated mint condition, or proof versions, which may have been included in special coin sets, can attract modest interest from collectors. The Royal Mint occasionally produced proof sets for collectors, ensuring flawless, highly polished surfaces and crisp details. These examples are notably more desirable among numismatists. In conclusion, the 1991 penny coin is a small, yet historically significant artifact, representing both the continuity of British coinage traditions and the broader context of British society during Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Its design elements symbolize national heritage, while its everyday use reflects the economic and cultural fabric of late 20th century Britain. For collectors and historians alike, this coin provides a tangible connection to an important era in modern British history, encapsulating the enduring legacy of the monarchy, national identity, and numismatic craftsmanship of the United Kingdom. The 1994 1 penny coin from the United Kingdom, bearing the inscription Elizabeth II D.G.Reg.F.D. 1994 is a small yet historically rich piece of British coinage, Part of the long-standing decimal currency system introduced in the United Kingdom in 1971. This specific penny, minted in 1994, features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Makloff, which was used on British coinage from 1985 to 1997. The inscription D.G.Reg.F.D stands for Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defincit. It's a Latin phrase meaning, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, a title carried by British monarchs for centuries, symbolizing their role as both sovereign and protector of the Church of England. The reverse of this coin features the iconic image of a portcullis with chains, an emblem traditionally associated with British Parliament and Westminster, symbolizing security, strength, and the historic roots of governance in the United Kingdom. This reverse design was created by Christopher Ironside, a renowned designer responsible for the reverse imagery of the UK's first decimal coins. The 1994 penny is made of copper-plated steel, a composition introduced in 1992 to replace the previous bronze alloy due to rising copper prices. This change also made the penny magnetic, a characteristic that distinguishes post-1992 pennies from earlier issues. The coin weighs approximately 3.56 grams, with a diameter of 20.3 millimeters. It features a plain edge, typical of UK pennies. These coins were minted primarily for general circulation, though some proof and uncirculated versions were struck for collectors. The penny, despite its small face value, represents an important aspect of everyday British commerce, often used for small transactions, though in recent years its practical use has declined due to inflation and the growing move towards cashless payments. Historically, the penny has deep roots in British coinage, dating back to Anglo-Saxon times. With the modern decimal penny introduced on the 15th of February 1971, known as Decimal Day, when the UK transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a simpler base 100 system, aligning with most global currencies. By 1994, the United Kingdom was undergoing significant socio-economic changes. With growing globalization, advancements in technology, and evolving European relations, though the penny remained a constant presence in the pockets of millions, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on this coin represents the continuity of the British monarchy. And coins like these serve as everyday reminders of national identity and tradition. Though billions of pennies were minted across various years, making individual 1994 examples common in circulation, they still hold interest for collectors, especially in pristine, uncirculated condition or as part of complete decimal collections. Furthermore, coins, such as the 1994 penny, embody the craftsmanship and artistry of British minting traditions. Combining historical symbolism with practical monetary use, the Royal Mint, responsible for producing this coin, is one of the world's oldest and most respected minting institutions, tracing its origins back over 1,100 years. Coins from this era, including the 1994 penny, capture a period in British history when Queen Elizabeth II had already marked over 40 years on the throne, her reign witnessing vast cultural, political, and economic transformations. Despite being a low denomination, the penny remains a tangible link to both the past and everyday life, contributing to Britain's rich numismatic legacy. As time passes, even commonplace coins like the 1994 penny may gain historical significance, reminding future generations of the symbols, traditions, and leaders that shaped the nation during the late 20th century.